What is up, guys? It's your boy GRC. Sorry I look like poo, but we have an amazing show for you today. This is Crypto in the Morning. We're live every single day at 11 a.m. Eastern. We don't do skipsies. Sometimes we do sub in, sub out. And today we're going to be talking about the crypto news. But I'm not going to be talking about Donald. Dude, everyone was talking about Donald Trump NFT. Just it made me sick to my stomach. Not because of Donald Trump or anything. Just because, come on, we have stuff to focus on right now that's critical, super critical. And I'm going to bring Sam through the entire rabbit hole of my research over the last 24 hours and his comments on the entire thing. My co-host, Sam Stolt, we're coming at you live. Crypto in the Morning, every single day at 11 a.m. Eastern, guys. I'm going to play the Crypto in the Morning song and go straight to the Fed take. I want Sam to hear this information first because this is from this morning. And I need him to hear this information first so we can start the discussion from there. Because the reality is we're in a financial situation that I have never seen in my adult life, 28 years old. Sam's probably been on the tail end of his work life on one of these. So kind of not in the thick of it at the time. 2008, that's the last time. But is this bigger than 2008? Is this bigger? Is this something different? This is a merge. Is the crypto industry the biggest Ponzi scheme in the history of the world? Or is it necessary that we have transparent blockchain transactions, peer-to-peer, for the people? The Constitution would like that version of the world, but we never know. We're going to bring you down the whole rabbit hole. Pretty sure SBF's in prison. I don't think the world will let him sit in a cage with other men, but who knows? They sacrificed him, man. Sacrifice. We know all about sacrifices here, guys. What's up? Y'all know what time it is.
You already know what time it is. Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning. Waiting on phone. Crypto in the morning. 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 Waiting on phone. Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning. Smoking no blunt on my way to the gym. 11 a.m. I'm already tuned in. Got me some hex and I'm making a stake. Got me some heads on, I'm making it rain. Pay me some maxi and that just in case. Jim Reddit sent me to show you the way. D5 Pro, yeah. Crypto in the morning. 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 Crypto in the morning.
Talk to us about the change we've seen, because there has been a lot. If you look back to where we were January 1 of this year, where we are now, it's really different. For example, from 0 to 3.75%, even higher than that, 4.25% on the Fed.
Pretty incredible. Actually, when you go through, I've been doing this almost 36 years, and you say, what were the years that you had this sort of change? 2008, maybe still the biggest, but this ranks right up there at the top. You think about, we came into the year in March. The Fed was still doing QE and had the funds rate at 0. Now we've priced the funds rate at about 5 as a terminal. That's pretty extraordinary. And a year that you've never seen, nobody's ever seen, even in my long tenure in the industry, where the bond market and the stock market all traded down. So your hedges, how you did portfolio allocation, change of leadership in the UK and all of the pension system dynamic, a war that, who thought that we'd go through a deglobalization process and the impact that has on inflation, impact on fuel costs, food costs. This is extraordinary.
And that's before you get to China.
And by the way, I didn't even think about that. And the emergence from COVID, not emergence from COVID. Now we start to grow. It is pretty extraordinary. It felt like 5 years wrapped into one.
So the economy has absorbed a surprising amount, actually, if you think about what's happened here. Can it absorb what's going on right now? What are your prospects as the so-called soft landing at this point?
So, David, I think people underestimate how flexible, adaptive, innovative, particularly the U.S. economy is. Harder in emerging markets. You saw a year where the dollar appreciated, emerging markets come under stress. But I think people underestimate how darn flexible, and you're seeing it play out in the U.S. economy. Think about when we emerged from COVID, all of a sudden people needed a TV, electronics, furniture, massive goods grow, and you saw jobs moving in the goods sector. Then people had already gotten what they needed to get. They didn't need another computer or TV. Now you shift to the service sector, growth from the service sector, and you're seeing jobs, leisure, restaurants, hospitality, healthcare that are now starting. It's pretty extraordinary. So can the economy withstand this? Listen, this is a historic move up in interest rates, tightening of liquidity through the balance sheet channel. But yes, I think, you know, we've talked about in your show, I just don't know why soft landing is like landing the plane on a pin needle. It's, you have an economy, you have a savings rate that's still in good shape. Leverage in the system. I've gone through 2002, 2008, where you had too much leverage in the financial system, consumers, corporates. Leverage is in pretty good shape. So the economy has a series of buffers alongside of it. Listen, is the economy slowing? Could we have a shallow recession? For sure. But I think people underestimate a developed economy, particularly like the U.S., is much more reflexive than people give credit to.
Rick, you said the economies were resilient. How resilient are the markets? Because you mentioned one of the issues that we've talked about before, which is liquidity. A lot of liquidity coming out of the markets. Have the markets held up? Are they prepared for what comes next?
So I'd say the markets are less adaptive and flexible. And I've learned over my career, there's a cultural dynamic around markets. People don't like to lose money, but of course they don't like to lose money, but it's not symmetric to making money. I've always found this, markets go down 5 times faster than they go up. People like to protect what they've made and don't like to lose money. And when people think the prospects that they could lose more money, markets go down even faster. And it's pretty extraordinary. We witness that. And I've always found that people buy on up markets and sell on down markets because they just can't take the losing more money. Now we're at a place today that if the Fed starts to come off the boil, which I think is the case, that now we're talking about rate volatility on the risk-free rate on interest rates, that's going to come down a lot. That gives, there are two components, particularly in fixed income and any assets, the risk-free rate plus your risky rate. And we always think about whether it's debt, equity, where's my risk-free rate and where's my risky rate? But if your risk-free rate is moving all over the place and moving higher, you can't value any financial asset. If that stabilizes, risk premia, term premia comes down. And I think that's a really big deal. But are we going to have some vol into next year? Yes. I just think less than 22 if the Fed pauses. And by the way, the ECB starts to tone it back, Bank of England, et cetera.
Well, you talk about the Fed coming off the boil. It looks like at least they're going to slow down the rate of increases. I'm not sure they're going to cut right away, exactly, but slow down the rate of increases. What do the economic numbers show us about that? Because we did get CPI numbers out this week that a lot of people reacted to very favorably.
So it's really encouraging. By the way, we've had head fakes before. We had it in the summer. It would look like, okay, we're on the backside of it, and then all of a sudden it popped up again. I don't think it's over around what is elevated rates of inflation. You see it through wage stresses in the system. That being said, when we break down the component parts of inflation, you think about shelter, you think about food costs, used cars, supply chain, freight costs, they're all coming down. So you take some comfort in that we're on the backside of the elevated inflation. We've run some numbers that even if inflation in most products stays elevated 4 to 5%, because of where energy is today, because of how much it's come to worse to where it was, because of house prices, shelter coming down, we still get in the high 2s in inflation by the middle of the year. So you can live with that. And it's part of why I think the Fed, if the momentum is moving in that direction to a more normalized state, although elevated from history, Fed can pause. But you made a critical point. The markets are pricing the Fed's going to start easing in 23. I don't think that's right at all. I think the Fed's going to sit with this for a while and restrict it.
Whoa, very, very interesting, right? One of the largest asset management firms in the world, and this dude is in charge of their fixed income, right? And he's talking about what's going on. Also, just the other day, the CIO, so he's the CIO, right, of BlackRock, the CIO of the largest hedge fund in the world. This came out yesterday. I think his name is Jensen. He's also he was doing training with Ray Dalio, right? He did work for him for 25 years. He is saying that he believes the recession is going to be twice, at least, the normal length of a recession. Again, he goes into a bunch of different factors on this front.
And what does that look like after all the salad? What is like, because they say it's a recession, but it was a recession last year technically. And what in your experience, What is that? What is he trying to say? How long, roughly?
I mean,
Well,
it nor-
I know it's rough.
let's see how long a normal recession is.
And while
But
you're checking that real quick, I'm not going to pull anything up. I'm just going to talk for a second. I'm going to bring Sam through the greatest parts of and Richard Hart brings up the Fed too in very much detail. We're going to play it back. I want you to notice one thing, for better or worse, the conversation we just listened to made me feel like Jesus was real and my family was awesome. They were nice, talking back and forth, having a good conversation. I can drink my coffee and have a good time. And I want you, and I'm not saying one way is right and one way is wrong, but I know one thing about respect in this world. And the most valuable thing in this world is your reputation. If you care. Some people literally just move away because they don't give a shit. But if you want to be some sort of person in any social platform or any political, whatever it is, reputation. This is all a big reputation game. Nobody cares how much money you have anymore, Sam. People literally message me. They think I'm a billionaire. Some people message me. They think I have less. They think I'm in my mom's house right now. So it's just like, okay, right? Like it's whatever. Does anyone care? No. Does anyone know? No. But it's about being honest. So other than that, being honest, people know when I come on this show, I'm trying my goddamn best to be honest. I'm not perfect. Sometimes I highlight myself. Sometimes I probably put myself down but remember, it's about trying to be honest. You got to try to be honest because that punch is really hard. And I think that guy, Sam, was trying to be as honest as he possibly could in that moment. I felt that. Did you
I
feel
did not.
that?
Yeah, I agree. I didn't feel that he was trying to sell something or like push a narrative. I think that he was just being, hey, this is literally how I feel given the information that I have, without trying to put biases consciously on top of it, right? Because even if we're speaking truth, a lot of the time we have biases. It's just that's our existence, but it's our truth without. There's a lot of times where people will take their truth and they will add on a layer of biasy
We call that word salad.
yeah, and try to push
That's salad.
one way.
There's
So
no salad. Once you hear the salad, and me and Sam will call it out, that'll be their little code word to the chat. If we're ever hearing a conversation, and we're not going to say this dude's a piece of crap, this dude's a jerk off. So everyone's got something to do, right? We're going to say, "Ooh, that salad is getting super high calorie." That salad, we'll say something like that. We'll say something funny about the salad. And that way, without us being rude directly, that we feel rude things for them in this moment. So it's important though, because I want this channel not to be as tacked like extra. Like I know down the line, we don't love the feds and the FBI and all them, of course, here, but like that's not super important. What's more important is that this is just educational channel. We're trying to learn, have actual console between two men where you're just having that open talk. I want people to be exposed to that because without that in my life, I would be dead. If I did not find someone to talk to, not my family and shit. You can't be doing that with your family. That's not really how it works. Like they're too close to home, if you get it. Like you got to find a man or men or guys or a couple dudes that you at least can look up to. You don't even have to talk to them all the time. Nowadays, I can look up to Elon Musk all I effing want. And I don't have to say a damn word to him. I don't care if he knows who I am. It doesn't matter to me because all his beans are spilt with 7 or 8 hours of my research or whatever. So I think it's important as we go through. I want to show you guys why I'm so critical about Richard, while he still graces us with a lot of really good information.
So I was looking. Yeah, I agree with you.
And he did the stream yesterday. I forgot to mention he did the stream yesterday. I'm going to show some highlights to Sam, but Sam, go ahead.
So stay tuned because we got some really good clips coming up, guys. And take a second to share this out too. So the average recession since World War II has been about 11 months. So if you consider what the CIO of Bridgewater, the largest hedge fund in the world, that says that the recession is going to be twice as long, that's 22 months. How does that go through and impact crypto? How does that go through and impact the bull market? Well, I think, I don't know if this is considered in this, but I think that we're going through a very dynamic time where we have like the Great Resignation, right? I don't know if people are still doing this, right? But there's 1,000 different ways to make a living online from 20 different sources of income.
Resurging. It's done it. Remember we talked about it a year ago. It's actually doubling down now. Like where I thought it was kind of over, it's done a double, an AI double with Fed rates down, new tech. It doubled in my head. It's now easier and more accessible. Like I, in my head, doubled down. I was like, oh, I was even thinking about, you always think in your head, like scenarios, like worst case scenario, I'll get a job, maybe this, that, and the other. I've talked to Sam for 3 seconds and I'm just like, yeah, no fucking chance. Like there's no chance, like not even close, not even, it's too much innovative technology that's going on right now. And that is guys like me and Sam. Let's say we're horrible writers, right? But we're just amazing fitness instructors, right? We're the best fitness instructors in the world, but we just literally have no experience writing. Or like the whole, you know how it goes, Chat GPT just fixed that, GPT just fixed that in 2 seconds. Oh wait, you don't have the most sophisticated software team in the world, but you have 1 or 2 guys that really know what they're doing. Oh wait, you can now use Chat GPT for software. So think about this, guys. Think about the future. Think about what's going on right now. It's critical that the war on information is doubled down.
So that's exactly what I think about when he's like, oh, the recession is going to last twice as long as like an average recession. But in my life, like 2022, everybody else is crying and wiping their eyes. And I'm having the best year that I've ever had, like financially speaking and other things that are going on in my life. And 2023 is going to put 2022 in the dust in terms of performance and how I grow because of tools like different AI out there. And then I'm like, so is this guy just looking at the numbers in the ivory tower? I'm sure he's talking and having good, honest conversations, because I would think you'd have to be at the top. And given what I know about Ray Dalio, but I'm like, do people at that level really understand the impact of Chat GPT? Like
I don't. I know it's crazy. I know my brain can't even understand it yet, but it's scalable to everyone. That's what I know. I know scalable to everyone, and I know it has innovative features. That to me just rings every bell in every book.
Or DALL-E, right? DALL-E, the AI for drawing, right? That also can be utilized in creative ways to make people money. If you need something drawn.
Dude, I've been doing creative stuff lately. I know this is what I will be doing all day. And me and Sam moving forward are going to be the leaders from this point on. I mean, I know there's people that have been doing this for a long time, but in the crypto space, we're going to be taking AI extremely seriously. So if you like the kind of like fintech, innovative tech, like it's something that frankly, I can't stop thinking about. And I know when I can't stop thinking about something, how it goes. Liquidity providing, Hex, Ethereum, bodybuilding. I know how this works, bro. Like when you feel that little, I like to call it the first principle kind of vibe, because the scalability, it helps guys like me for what? For why? It's free. And this isn't technology that hasn't been available for a very long time. It's now scalable to everyone. For free. So that's the part that's changed, right, Sam? Like, let's be honest. I know I imagine this stuff's been out for a while to the nerdy AI dudes, but now it's free, scalable, and understood by guys like me in an hour.
And so I want to talk about this. So Christian asks, what happens when all of us use AI, right? So you're already doing it. You have this thing here, and you use it every single day. It's called Google. So think about this. What happened when you used YouTube, because that's an AI inside of there for machine learning to pick out the best searches. Same thing with Google. Let me ask you a question. What happened when you get these tools out there and more people came onto them, so the network grew? The tools became better. Yes, they're super left-leaning in their searches, but the tools are available to you. Your life expanded, productivity expanded, your capacity grew. What do you think is going to happen?
It's more than money. It's so much more than money. Remember this morning, I was like, oh God, there's a couple things, the market, I gotta start strategizing again. for certain aspects of like everyone would. And Sam just mentioned a couple things, and it's just I'm like, I knew it already. It's like I just want to cut through the crap. Life is just about learning how to cut through the bullshit faster, and you get better and better at it to the point where you don't even have to look anymore. It's just obvious. Everything's obvious. You walk into a room, you know exactly which guy has a lot of success with women and which guy has no success with women. You don't really have to have a chatty poo-poo with them, right? It's that feeling before a fight goes off. It's that universal truth before something happens. And you can start to identify it. And that's why I'm studying guys like Elon Musk, Jack LaVenne. Some of these guys, they find this little streamline of consciousness. They're not the smartest motherfuckers in history, dudes. Yeah, smart as shit, I'm sure. But they find the universal truths and they implement them with no bias for no money at the beginning. Because any of those guys would say, if I came in this trying to flip the fuck, Tesla would not be what it is. Period. End of story. If Jack's only goal was to make money, why would he make a crypto that he owned none of and distributed to every, obviously you can say whatever about what they do behind the scenes, but we kind of know enough now. There's only market cap $6 million. So let's understand that. But let's get into the Richard Hart stream. Sam, I just realized that we have the opportunity to talk to Jack LaVenne at 1:30, and we can do a whole entire segment on AI because that's something that he can't stop thinking about either. And he's so open-minded about it. And he studies Elon. I asked him, and Corey Costa, he did a stream with Corey Costa. Who do you look up to? He only said one dude.
Think about the last thing on AI here.
Yeah.
If 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago, we were asking the question, how is AI going to impact future jobs? What the answer, and the answer probably from a lot of people in the chat would be that AI is going to take away the, I don't know, blue collar or white collar, which one?
I'll tell you right now what it will take away. Modern journalism just died this week forever. Modern journalism, or whatever journalism you call like the average journalist before.
But it's
they're
unique.
gone. They're gone now. They're guys like me. I can use that stuff. I'm not a journalist, bro. But now I am.
The jobs in factories, we would have thought 10, 15 years ago, you would think AI is going to replace the lowest wage earners, right? The people who are doing things in a factory, like doing construction or whatever the case is, you'd be like, oh, AI is going to get that. But in reality, what you just said, GPT and other AIs that are built on top of this are actually going to impact all of the knowledge workers the most.
You ever met anyone who drives Uber who's actually really smart and really awesome and successful?
Yeah.
I've met a couple of those guys too. They're starting to sprout up everywhere. Why? Because they have no overhead and they invest their money and they sit in their car all day and listen to music and enjoy their lives. And that's at a minimum. That's like a baseline. I've met a couple of guys that are like found that little groove. And they arb the gas and buy a nice Tesla. And then they just basically are driving a nice Tesla for free. And while their investments, and they learn tech and their car's teaching them shit probably while they're going. And it's just, oh, did Uber fuck everyone over? No, Sam, this is the point. Right here is the point. We don't want men flipping burgers if they don't have to. They have something more important they need to be doing. That could be drawing. That could be doing tattoos. That could be maybe someone's really good at tattoos, but they weren't good at doing the artwork beforehand or whatever. Like they're not good at original art, but they can tattoo with the best of them. Now they can just do it with chat or whatever. Sam, I know a lot of people that do tattoo stuff because they get caught up in that kind of lifestyle in prison, but then they end up being like amazing tattoo artists. And so it's like, that's better than flipping burgers, right? That's better than in the warehouse, right? Like that's creative.
Some people might like it, but I agree.
I have zero tattoos. I'm a zero tattoo guy, but I know people.
But I mean, people flipping the burger.
The creative spirit is more valuable than feeding someone the shittiest food in history. I'll take that. Like, I'm not the most creative dude in the world. I'm working on it. I'm working on it with the thumbnails, okay? But Sam, we have to shut the fuck up. But this is not over. Don't you fucking.
This is just getting started.
Like, we're going to talk about this stuff too much, I'm sure. Like, you know how everyone said, People were DMing me and said, if you say liquidity one more time, I'm going to unsubscribe to you. And I said, you just unsubscribe then, buddy, because this shit's on these type. But now crypto's dying. So downside risk volatility on LP can sometimes just be annoying rather than profitable sometimes if you don't know another 99 and then another 99 off that. I don't care how wide your range is. It's going to get right now, things are not stable. And we saw, Sam, I'll bring you through the charts at the end too. Hex, everything.
Massive sell-offs.
Crazy opportunity everywhere. I'm getting super excited. Down to $5 million at some point in the Hex USDC pool. If you don't understand how there is only $5 million. Imagine the SEC and everyone coming after these guys, and there's only $5 million on the exit point. What fucking idiots! They don't even know. But the sacrifice. I have a feeling it's about the sacrifice, but I don't know. Well, anyway, Richard's the topic of discussion, and I get DMs all day long saying I'm going to burn in hell for not making this guy just seem like the best dude in history. But frankly, I think I do a pretty damn good job making him seem all right, rather than most people wouldn't even listen to him. But I know he's got that diamond in the rough. But let's see how it started. And then hold on, let me make sure I wrote this timestamp. Yeah, I did. Okay. So we're going to see how it started. And I restreamed this last night, and there was 200 live. It was fun. It was so fun. We had a fucking blast. Orca was in there. Twitter Spaces went down. All this shit was happening last night. I want to give this guy a huge fucking round of applause with a load of biceps, because first of all, he studied with the best of them. And I know that because I study with the best of them on this topic in particular, this topic, Hex, Richard, I know that stuff pretty good. This guy might know more than me, and I would have loved to ask him questions and have him on my show. And that is something that my email I'll be doing a chat GPT email to Mr. Barron. See it, and I want to know his routine, his regimen. This dude's older than dirt, but he looks fucking amazing. He was mentioning his age, and I was like, dude, he's like, I've been doing this for 27 years. I was like, excuse me? So let's listen to this. I want biceps. Sam, you're gonna
I like his studio. He's got a nice looking studio.
That's gonna be our studio I'm just gonna do everything for Sam. Literally, I don't care because I just want him here with me.
Why don't just show up and we're just gonna do it? Awesome.
I'm really gonna go down to Florida, find a place near you, make this studio or something do my best to make a legit, not like a fucking house studio, right? And then just you'll be like, well, I fucking know now. I got to do is walk over here. Of course I have to do it because I have to incentivize you. We're both working, and it's fun. It's also fun to do stuff.
Yeah.
So
it'll be a fun process to go through learning how to create an awesome studio, exactly how you want it, all the details, how can we make it bigger, how can we create more impact.
I'll never go full suit though. I'll never do daily suit. I'm not doing that shit ever. I'll do t-shirt and jeans or khakis. That's it. I'm never gonna, and I love a suit, but it's so uncomfortable to wear all the time. It's hot and I get sweaty. So anyway, guys, biceps in the chat, Richard Hart interview. Let's see how it started. And then I'm going to switch to how it ended. And then we're going to listen to all the Fed takes. He says he can see Ethereum going to $250 US at some point in here. And I got so excited. I don't know why. I just got so excited. I'm like, oh my God. And then remember in the beginning, the guy said, everyone always sells. And then it happens faster. And it's like a double feedback loop. And I just love it. I love it. And it'll happen quick. And I'll be so ready for it. And I can't. If it happened, and if it doesn't, I got my Zen. So, and we're going to be talking. Sam, are you going to come with us with Buck and later? Are you still on the fence on that? Do you have
time? I have a call with the doctor, so I just don't know the time when I'm supposed to have that call.
Well, I can adjust it too. 15 minutes here, 30 minutes up, 40 minutes back. So just if you work with me, I'll work with you because we kind of fucking need you there. That's going to be an explosive. I can see 200 plus live viewers. It's going to be so fun. We've been memeing all day long with Jack and Famous.io, the sacrifice, the PP, the whole thing. It's been great. Zen FTs, Sam, I'm sure Sam could come up with a couple of Zen FT questions. I'm so excited about crypto right now. I'm sorry.
And crypto, what the prospects of where both of these technologies, because I think they're two different technologies, are going. And we're going to do this with a special guest. You guys have asked for him many times on this show. And, we finally have been able to connect and we got a chance to reach out to him. all the stars aligned. It's going to happen. We've got Richard Hart here today with us. So it's going to be a big one. My name is Paul Barron. Welcome back into Tech Path. We did a poll over on Twitter, and I just want to show this. Give Richard a little bit more for his ego. I don't think he needs much more, if you know Richard. And that is, who would you want on the show to talk about, Bitcoin, crypto, macro outlook for 23? We had Richard in there, not so Mr. Wonderful. Meet Kevin next, and then PBD, the boss. That's, of course, Patrick.
Meet Kevin should be off that list. Meet Kevin's done nothing but step down since FTX fucking failed. He's pissed me off ever since you highlighted it, and I was more certain about it. I was like, he's been doing it again too. Sam. He's doing it.
Doesn't know what he's talking about. Like,
go back to real estate, dude. Help some people with real estate, bro. Like, real estate's chill.
Bet David, this wasn't even a race, people. And that was 2,300 votes. This wasn't even a race. So that's why Mr. Richard Hart is here today. So I want to welcome Richard Hart to the show. Great to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So Richard, let's go for it. Let's get into a lot about what's happening in the world of crypto right now, and in general, what we're seeing in the markets. I want to get into a couple of points for you. And when you think about where the market is right now, obviously we just saw the whole FTX. Kind of your opinion on FTX. I know, I've heard, but I'd love to hear your opinion.
I've been warning everybody.
So this is how it started. We're going to show a couple minutes here. Very nice, elegant little conversation here. And then we're going to do a little pop. Then we're going to go into the macro.
To take your coins off of exchanges, off of lending platforms for years. I've been in this business since 2011, first quarter. When I got into Bitcoin, when I started mining Bitcoin, it was 50 cents.
Yeah.
When I bought it, it was $30. Immediately went down to $2, of course. But then, you hold it, it goes up to 1,200, down to 200, up to 20,000, down to 3,000, up to 14, down to 4, up to 70, down to 15.5 so far.
Yeah.
So the volatility is the price you pay for the world's best performing asset. Now it's not the best performer anymore, but if you look back on a long enough time frame, right? Like if you were able to buy it when it was a penny, you were up 690 million%.
Right.
A year and a half ago. But if you bought it 5 years ago, you're down money now.
Exactly.
So there's a difference between buying 10 years ago and 5 years ago. But I mean, to get a 3x in real estate, you had to wait 15 years. To get a 3x in the stock market, you had to wait 15 years. And to get a 3x.
I bought Bitcoin in 2019, which was 4 years ago, for $3,400. So remember, guys, word salads can confuse you, because what is he highlights those tops and those bottoms, but there's a lot in between. I got in between. When I got in, Bitcoin was $3,400. First time I ever bought crypto in my life, 2019. And he highlighted there that 5 years ago, you'd be down on money if you bought, because if you bought at that moment at the top for 1 second. So it's important that he does the salad. And
I also he takes a double in real estate 15 years. I've got a triple in real estate in 5 years. So it's not like it's,
When did I buy my house? Like 5 years or like 4 years now. And my house has doubled in value, literally just on equity, just flat, doubled. And I have not even done anything other than make the yard look nice. And I'm sure it would be more if it was a month and 2 months ago, like a 3x. Like it was getting.
I've done a 3x in 5 years. Like
it's just totally doable. And that's not even like we weren't timing the market. I'm sure you weren't like, this is the best exact fucking time to buy a house. Me neither. I was like, I need a spot. So I need to chill somewhere. Like, let me buy a house. So it's important. And me and Sam only highlight these things to make it fair game. We want, Richard will be coming on this show if Lane has anything to do with that. We'll show that at the end before we go, because Lane is the warrior of this channel. Lane is the VIP of this channel. And I want to make sure he has a wrench too. So Lane, if you're in here, let's make sure you're wrenched up. I might be giving some wrenches away if I see a bunch of biceps. So let's get some biceps going. I'm the wrench king now. I gave away a wrench and I took away a wrench. So we do the first principles here on Crypto in the Morning. So for every wrencheth we give, we taketh a wrench. So you better be on your best behavior.
In crypto, you just need to wait the right month. Just has to be the right month.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
I think FTX,
go ahead.
Very simply, cryptocurrency was invented to get rid of counterparty risk, to put you in charge of your money. So you never have to beg anyone for access to the network. Never have to beg anyone to spend it. Never have to beg anyone for your keys, for your coins. You don't have to send selfies. You don't have to send, hostage videos. Please, it's really me. Please give me my money. That's the opposite of why crypto was invented. And when you give your coins to someone else, they're not your coins anymore. You're now an unsecured creditor. Congrats, you'll go last after all the VCs get paid out in the bankruptcy.
Okay, so that's how it started, right? Decent conversation, nothing got out of line. Let's go into the future. Just 3 minutes, Sam. So 3 minutes of a little water cooler talk, we call it on the East Coast. And then we get to, let me make sure I do the timestamp because it's perfect timing. 8:51. So let's see, just in 3 minutes, Sam, just in 3 minutes. And my man is this, I know Richard pretty well. He's a sober dude. He does not like alcohol and drugs. And he's just, so this is sober, raw. Richard Hart, just 3 minutes. Let's see how things change.
And not got screwed by BlockFi, by Gemini, by Celsius. I'm the giving tree of crypto. Like why do they all have more followers than me? They're all losers. I have better cars, better stuff. I'm the world's biggest diamond. I got 10 million watches. I twerk. I do pull tricks. What do you want, people? I can't do you a better solid.
Yeah, I think actually you could.
Oh, you're muted, bro.
It's hard to get emotions out of Sam. It doesn't happen. First, let me talk the super chats. First of all, Pierre, you're my guy. Your super chats, I don't care what the USD valuation of is. Every time I see it, every time I see these super chats, it makes me feel a lot of support. And I want to thank you very much for the super chat and all your support, dude. It really helps. And it makes me feel like it's, when there's guys that like really ride with it, it makes me feel like I should keep going no matter what. Because it's hard sometimes, PNW, another absolute VIP of the channel. I got the same confirmation. Sweet. See you then, Sam. Oh, so Sam confirmed with everyone. Is that what happened?
You just didn't say that.
I knew how to get Sam involved. Just like forcibly say, if everyone says his name a lot, he's just like, "Fuck, this is lit. Like, let's go." Like, because it's fun. It's fun, and life is not always just super fun. But I need Sam there for two things: one, to talk about the fiat sacrifice; two, to talk about AI with Jack. Like I need. And we're going to be quick and efficient, 200. And if Sam can't join, guys, he's probably just literally on an exact phone call. So we're kind of joking. We'll let Sam just join if he needs to.
It's possible. I just text to see when we're going to be chatting. So
you just let me know, and it's no big deal. And I'll add you to the thumbnail if I have time because it's fun to practice. So you saw in just a few minutes, but this is where this guy gets into absolute TRT Chad mode. So Mr. Barron goes into absolute regimen, Chad, GH, everything, Chad mode. And you learn here that he's well studied, which can be tricky with the RH. RH with the well studied, it makes the salad come served.
It sounds like there's about to be some abrasiveness here. Like a little
Well, no, this guy never keeps it. He keeps it classier than class could possibly keep it. So it's hard to be abrasive when you're a class act. And it's kind of like, let's see how this goes, Sam. I can't wait to see your take.
Because I think when I think I'm gonna
pull tricks. What do you want, people? I can't do you a better solid.
Yeah, I think actually you could. Because I think when I think I'm gonna, not that I have the secret to anything, but when I look at and I've been in journalism for 15, almost 20 years, been in tech for 20 years. I've been around all.
How many 20 years have you got in you, bro? How do you still have hair?
Right.
It's a lot of 20 years, man.
No, it's in unison there, adjacent to each other. The whole point is tech journalism. So my point is that when you look at what is it that's going to really set you apart, I think the scenario when I watch Richard Hart, and I follow your content. I've watched you on Rand's show and I don't know, dozens of shows after that. The one thing that I look at and think about, I'm thinking, this guy's really smart. He understands the metrics, the tokenomics. He understands the human behavior, the psychology behind all this. I mean, I would say maybe one of the top 10 guys in crypto right now. And when you look at that, for me, I think there's a huge opportunity here in the space, because you know this as well as I, is that the next level of leveling up in what's going to happen in crypto is going to be based off of adoption. And adoption is going to be coming from a new breed of investor, most likely that has not come into crypto before. Sure, we're going to get some of those people that are going to come back in after licking their wounds. They might make their way back in, but I think we're going to get some newbies in the space for the very first time in the next few years. Okay, let's do it.
I have an idea for adoption.
All right. What?
Why don't we do
what
the
is it?
world's largest airdrop?
Okay, there you
Why
go.
don't we airdrop
There you go.
a free coin to absolutely every single holder of any coin on the Ethereum network?
Yeah,
We
that's
could give
what
them a
you've
free
done, right?
copy. Yes, it is. Yep.
What is that called? What is that called?
Called Pulse Chain. Yeah. So Pulse Chain
Richard,
is the
you're
world's
getting
largest free airdrop.
you're getting too predictable here. Come on, I need to hear some new stuff.
What can I say?
I want to hear something that has not been said before by you. What's that?
Well, sure. I mean, Y Combinator funded a company that would scan your eyeballs to give you coins, and then it failed. And then some other scam company run by ex-PayPal guys was supposed to airdrop anybody that like you could only refer 2 people was their gimmick. And then they got 20 million signups. And
these are all doomed
failed.
for failure. They're
And then
doomed for failure.
like I can give you the list of everyone that tried to do, hey, here's Bitcoin's try. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do peer-to-peer digital cash. Does anyone use Bitcoin as peer-to-peer digital cash? Nope. No, they don't. Why? Man, one time I waited 3 hours for a confirmation, a single confirmation. And you need 3 to 6 to transact.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like,
Well,
so this
I think
is what
Bitcoin,
a Poisson distribution looks like.
Bitcoin itself is whether it becomes a payment system, whether Lightning becomes all it
That shit sailed.
could be.
Sailed.
Okay, well let's
You want to know
talk
what the
about
BTC ETH chart looks like? Okay.
Let's go back to Lightning before you get away from it. Let's go back to Lightning. Why is that ship sailed? Let's talk about that.
Ready? What do you want to use crypto for? Getting rich. That's it. That's all you care about. Okay. Well, how are you going to get rich? Price chart. Number has to go up. Okay. Here's the Bitcoin Ethereum pair. Now it's making a ascending triangle, like blowout top soon.
Right.
Because the token, Ethereum has lower inflation than Bitcoin. All the stable coins are on Ethereum. All the NFTs are on Ethereum. Hex, the world's first blockchain time deposits on Ethereum. Pulse Chain, the world's largest free airdrop, is a copy of Ethereum.
Are you at all worried about a
on-chain exchange?
An incoming security concern for ETH?
Here, the definition of a security in the United States, it's not the only country in the world, is do people put money into a common pool with the expectation of profit solely from the work of others? So when you buy Ethereum, where's the common pool you're putting your money into? There isn't one. You're buying your Ethereum from somebody else. Okay,
I know that,
well, you failed a leg of the Howey test, so now it can't be a security, period. Every single leg has to pass.
I get all
so then
of
you're
that
like, okay, hold on.
That it's going to hold
let me dance
against
some
that.
more for you because I'm kind of an expert on this crap.
I know.
Let's invent some new stuff that's not in the Howey test, right? Let's pretend that there's some extra crap that we didn't even pass with laws. We just had regulatory, like, oh, we're just going to say it from regulatory. The judicial branch isn't going to say it. The executive branch is going to say it, like pseudo law. Okay, cool. Let's have that. Is there critical entrepreneurial or managerial effort? No, there's not.
You don't think
Infura can go offline, and it has, and everything worked fine. No.
You don't think Vitalik is critical to
what are you
the
talking
ecosystem?
about? When's the last time he pushed a commit to Geth or Prism or anything? When's the last time his code
probably zero
got into the chain? Never.
Yeah.
So where's the criticality here? It's retarded.
Well, I think
it's emotional to even listen to this guy. Like, it's like, remember when I mentioned drinking my coffee and listening to the other guy and how I take notes and it's nice as could be? I feel only confusion. I feel only emotional exaggeration. I feel, you know what I mean, as a user. And I want you to open it up real quick and just mention your thoughts. Not even as much about what they're saying. Like, at the end of the day, I think that Ethereum is kind of a security as far as the United States government is concerned. What do you think? And what do you think about this conversation so far? We highlighted, the differences in emotion moving through it.
Well, the lightning thing, let's start there. Lightning is not designed to have the price go up. That's not what it's used for, right? A hammer is not used to cut stuff. It's a hammer. You use a pound shift, right? That's what lightning is for. So the idea that lightning is not good because price doesn't go up is incorrect. The hammer does not cut a table, does not cut a board. The hammer hammers shit. It is two different things. And then there's also smart contracts as well as NFTs that are being built around Bitcoin, right? On Ethereum, things are built on top of Ethereum. On Bitcoin, things are built around Bitcoin. So you have two different things of doing there. But NFTs and smart contracts are being built around Bitcoin as we speak. So I don't know, is this new? Or maybe he's just not aware of that kind of stuff. Yeah. And then the other, there was something else in there, but I forgot he was talking about the other stuff there. I do think that there's more.
There's too much nuance, and he knows it, and he knows that he can. The problem with Richard is he doesn't want to tell everyone the problems and lay out the solutions. He wants to say, this is why the price goes up and this is why it doesn't, because that's why the people that buy Hex buy it. And if he doesn't stand by that, it makes sense to me, because there's so many people that need money as their primary focus, would only be money, maybe in the wrong way too. Maybe not in the best way, like workload, like focus on emotional fitness, focus on your homeostasis as a human, your sleep schedule. Like that's day one to guys that know what they're doing, but it's day last to the guys that are unchecked. And somebody mentioned Richard needs some friends, and everyone needs some friends. First of all, I think, but some people don't allow guys like Sam Stolt to be their friend. And I'm not saying Sam's like your friend to everyone. I'm saying if Sam wanted to be a friend to me, let's say, and I had a huge ego, it just wouldn't work. Why? Because Sam does a lot of things good. He does a lot of things wrong, but I would just sit. A lot of the things that he does are visible. Like he works out a lot, for example. He's very large. He could probably kill me if we were to fight. Seriously. I stay ready, but if we're just I'm just trying to let people understand. And there was a time in my life, 16 years old, 17 years old, maybe 21 years old, I wouldn't want to be a good friend to Sam because it would highlight the things about me that I'm afraid of. And now I'm not afraid anymore. I want to be better, and I want pressure, and I want a little stress, a little pat on the Sally. And I think I tried to be friends with Richard as far as I'm friends with you, just like anyone, I'd like to be on team DeFi, and I like freedom. I like thinking about getting better ways to make money and kind of being smart about everything and being in the tech right on the front. But it's important, as we go forward, to remember, unchecked men are just that, unchecked men. Any man standing alone is nothing. I think that to be true. I really do. I think you need some sort of feedback loop in your life. You're a bit of a solo guy, but at the same time, you look up to people who research a lot of stuff. What do you think about that whole thing of being completely, you've been there before where you were the smartest dude in the room, but a little bit too maybe self-isolated?
And if you don't have the check, right? What you're just talking about, whether it's a friend or somebody you're looking up to or somebody you chat with once a month or whatever that is, it's almost like cutting your hair, if you have hair, without a mirror, right? There's nobody to tell you that you look like a fucking dumbass because there's no mirror in front of you. So when you go unchecked, right, and nobody pushes you on anything that you say, and you aren't around people who have different points of view, who question the integrity of the things that you say, right? Or not even the integrity of them, but question that there's another reality out there or that it is the best thing, then you can go down a rabbit hole, right? If you just spend all your time at home going down a fucking rabbit hole, nobody gets to tell you that you're a fucking crazy person. because there's no sounding board. There's no mirror in front of you to realize that your hair is all cut up because you don't know what they're doing when you're cutting your hair without a mirror, right? For me, that would be fine. For GSC, that wouldn't work because he's got hair, right? So it's having friends, having colleagues, having like people that you look up to in some fashion. Doesn't necessarily have to be in your physical life, but just something out there that you can look up to or aspire to be. And then also taking that look at yourself and being honest about how your own life and the things that you're doing in your own life to try to change those things, to try to look at yourself in ways that you can get better and whatnot. You want to say hi to Duke real quick too? Dukey Duke.
Oh, dude, Duke has been really big for me. I don't know you that well, but I obviously see your name and your icon is very clear to. And I'd like you if you could DM me and like let me know who you were exactly, because I want to know. Like, there's certain people that send me a lot of super chats, and I like to know like at least where they're from, like if you're or how old-ish you are, because it gives me better reference when I'm looking through everything. Back in the day, he answered everyone's Telegram. Yeah, well, I think it's also normal. Like back in the day, Sam also answered everyone's Telegram. Back in the day, I also answered any of my Telegrams, which was like 3 weeks ago. And now I don't answer any because there's so much spam on Telegram that it drives me insane. And I'm just not even want to support it. Literally, it's like fucking nuts. Thank you so much. We all are here to be at peace with ourselves. And you wanting to diminish your ego will inspire and help grow crypto. I really do want to diminish my ego. My ego used to be ginormous for no good reason. For no good reason other than I was just confused and I was always emotionally upset. And the opposite is when you're emotionally okay, whether you have money or don't, as long as you have friends and family, you're being honest to everyone, you can't really fail because reputation and like people want to help you. People don't want to not help you. Unless you don't have a good reputation, unless people see me in the morning saying, I'm right about everything, I'm the richest dude in the room, fuck you. Because it's just not true, frankly. And I feel like it might not be true for even Richard. Like, dude, like there's guys that are rich. Like they kicked him out of a space where I'm sure Elon and all those dudes are laughing at his bank account, right? They're not bragging about their bank account. Why isn't Elon bragging about his bank account? Doesn't it scale better? No. The car thing, the changing of the world thing, I think about Elon and I'm like, imagine if I was the guy who changed the future of travel for the rest of humanity. There would be no bigger honor in my life of something of that caliber is what I mean. It's incredible to think that he'll be in the history books forever. To me, that's
He's going to Mars. I'm sure that we'll get to Mars on his. Well, he's still alive. Maybe he's
in the history books either way, bro. Those cars are like unreal comparatively to the automobile. I've never seen.
Literally would have been telling people for years.
I
dude.
know you have, but like, it's just me being at the age I wouldn't have had a Tesla. I knew it was right, but I was always priced. I was like, it's just a weird time for me to have like a nicer car. In my opinion, like my car, 2004 Honda, that thing purrs. That thing has, I think dollar for dollar, my 2004 Honda is up there with your vehicle. But I think every vehicle, because I bought it for $3,000 cash. You know what I mean?
Right.
So dollar for dollar, I mean, like I'm driving around wherever I want, no gas. It's amazing. I love the experience, to be honest. But if I had excess money, that would be probably one of the first things to go. Like, and I'm talking like, you know me, I'm very risk off. So in a year or so, if things are really just churning and burning, like, oh, I cannot wait. That's going to be a beautiful day in my life when I purchase a nice vehicle for myself and I'll feel really proud of it rather than just scamming and being a douche and then like just starting to buy things all at once. And I'm not saying Richard's that guy. I'm saying in general, that's like the vibe, like the fresh and fit, like, oh, overnight I became from what? What'd you do? Are you going to be written down anywhere? Are people writing about you? Are people writing research papers, figuring out what your thesis was for stuff? That's the stuff. I don't know why, but that's the stuff that makes me excited. Thank you, Duke. I'm being a fucking, I talked to my mom on the phone today. I was calling people. I was trying to take care of my P's and Q's because at the end of the day, it's important emotional fitness. You know, that's the whole thing for this channel. The mission of this channel, show young men the tools that are available and show everyone why emotional and fitness and the basics are the most important thing in the world. And I just want to keep pushing
Because
that.
it's once you get that emotional fitness down, and I think the ego hinders a lot of people, but it's also just a tool because you can also use ego in a way to get attention or get a point across in a way. And most people don't have any actual substance to back up their ego. Like they think they're fancy and they're just literally like peasants. Like there's no point in having an ego at that point. You're just hurting yourself.
What does the ego do? It only helps you in the world of things that don't matter. That's the thing. If you're trying to get laid real hard, yeah, okay, that's probably fair game. If you're 20s, early 20s, and you want to maybe hit the gym, show people your stuff, you're like a little prime, specimen at that time for your, okay, go ahead. Get it out of your system, Bucky. Try to be respectful. Respect will always carry you. There's girls that will never speak to me again, period. And I think that I deserve worse than that. They deserve to slander my name everywhere, but frankly, they probably think I'm a little nicer now. So they're not, but I'm not that person. I'm not who that guy that I was. I wouldn't lie to someone's face anymore. I wouldn't tell someone something that wasn't true because I wouldn't be able to, but you have to figure that out. You got to figure out that part because I remember where lying was the best option. Like I was like, dude, if you lie, you get all the rewards and the other person doesn't find out. Duh, like duh, right? Until you grow and you learn and you realize about spirituality, whatever that means, the connection to everything in the world, which I think we can all frankly say. Love your live streams and your grind. Big things coming for both of you. Hey, that means a lot. That really means a lot. And it's not much about the big things, but if I could turn this into a little gig and double down on it, it would be so much better for me because I just love the show. I see crypto in the morning on the UFC octagon. I see all those things in my head all day long. They say, I can see Joe Rogan. I can see all these guys there. I can see, and I just want to keep going because who knows what will happen. You never know. And, it's really not that hard once you realize the competition is all selling their soul to the devil. And, Mr. UFC commissioner don't play like that. You know him, Dana? He's pretty sharp.
He is. And I like, he says it what it is. He's not trying to hide anything. He's not trying to do anything special. He'll just call it like it is. And those are the type of people who are going to garner a lot of value. Right?
And guess what? Sam just said that guy, he probably garners a lot of value. Probably doesn't know too much about him because he's not a huge sports guy. But guess what, Sam? He is the best CEO in the history of sports. Remember what I said about the car travel thing like that? And you're appreciating him from afar because you can tell something. Like you've seen enough where you're like, dude's locked in. Dude's not playing games. Like clearly, like just like, and it's important to understand because I want to show people why I'm hard on Richard and why I want him to go back to that Tony Robbins. It happens to all of us. There's a time in Sam's life where he's going to be like, whatever, back in the day or in the future, maybe he wants to start doing something. But right now he's in work mode 100%. And it's time for the men to be working right now, stepping it up if possible. I don't know. I got to stop talking. We're going to play this for another 5 or 10. And I'm going to fast forward to his macro take. And then we're going to close out. And then we're going to pray and send DMs and all sorts of stuff to see Sam at that 1:15, 2 p.m. slot where we talk about some with Jack, with Buck. We know Buck did the famous.io fiat SAC. Who's buying SAC wallets? We're getting there, guys. Who's buying SAC wallets? I got like 14 of them. I'm ready to auction some off, but I'm just kidding, guys. Let's get in here. Kidding, not kidding. Hit my DMs.
Well, I hope you're not calling me retarded, but
I'm just saying
that's not retarded. The point I'm getting at is
you just have to measure it. Like if you're going to measure
a figurehead.
Critical, it's a strong word. No, figurehead isn't the word, bro. The word is critical. What critical means is would fail.
Zuckerberg is not running code. He is the figurehead that everybody's investing in. He is the guy.
Satoshi left Bitcoin. How did it do? Satoshi left.
Okay, that's a completely different game.
In 2011.
Yeah, that's
why
a
is it a
completely
different
game?
game?
Because the time in which that occurred, as opposed to the time in which we're dealing with now, which is from a mass media standpoint, the impact on these kind of tokens. I mean, you look at what's happening right now with
No, but
BNB.
founders leave
Just
coins all the
consider.
time. Founders leave coins all the time.
Yep.
The coins
Cardano,
often do fine.
good example. Hoskinson leaving.
Well,
the Ethereum
I mean, I'm not an
Foundation.
expert on it. Sure, yeah, he left Ethereum, and so did everybody else. Gavin Wood left Ethereum.
Yeah.
You know, basically everybody but Vitalik left, and Joe Lubin. So
Yeah.
And I mean, look, I left Bitcoin. Seems to be doing fine. Not really, actually. It doesn't seem to be doing fine. It's down if you held it for 5 years.
Okay, what are your
Michael
thoughts
Saylor
on this?
bought the top with leverage. Michael Saylor bought the top with other people's money. I called the top. He bought the top. What an idiot. How do you lose money on the world's best performing asset? How stupid do you have to be?
Yeah.
He should follow
Saylor
me instead of
says-
blocking me.
Yeah. Whoa. Okay. Well, maybe that.
Because
maybe
I'm
Mr. Saylor's out
doing
there
great
listening to
and
this
he's a
right
wrecked
now.
pleb. No, stay broke,
Hello.
buddy. So here's every Bitcoin maximalist. Oh, please, God, government, make everything else illegal so that we can pump, so that we waited from 2017 till 21, we waited 4 years to get our 3x all-time high. We went from 20K to 69K. We have limp wiener, top of the S curve, dying 14-year-old tech pumps, but our dumps are the same size. Our dumps are the same.
All right, everyone just quiet for 1 second. Let's rewind it. We don't want to forget these beautiful moments. And if anyone has their record button close to their finger in a little clip, I'll take our faces out of it real quick and I'll slow her down a little bit.
For blocking me. Best performing asset. How stupid do you have to be?
Yeah.
You should follow
Saylor
me instead of
says-
blocking me.
Yeah. Whoa. Okay. Well, maybe that.
Because
maybe
I'm
Mr. Saylor's
doing
out there
great
listening to
and
this
he's
right
a wrecked
now.
pleb. Yeah. Stay broke,
Hello.
buddy. So here's every Bitcoin maximalist. Oh, please, God, government, make everything else illegal so that we can pump, so that we waited from 2017 till 21, we waited 4 years to get our 3x all-time high. We went from 20K to 69K. We have limp wiener, top of the S curve, dying 14-year-old tech pumps, but our dumps are the same size. Our dumps are the same size. Oh, really? Bitcoin went from 69K to 15.5, and it'll
Let's
do
reel
11,
you back in.
by the
Let's
way.
reel you back in. I got you, bro.
No.
I'm with you. I'm here with you.
Bitcoin dumps as hard as everything else. Bitcoin dropped 75, Ethereum dropped 85, and Hex dropped 95. But Hex went up 1,000,000% in a year and a half. Maybe a retrace is acceptable, and it's still up 500x now. people are like yelling. They're like, "Oh, it's the Ponzi." You're like, "Hey, Tesla's down like 70%. Facebook's down like 6. Like everything's down. It's the bear market, guys. What do you think? You're back to a year and a half ago's price. Everything's back to a year and a half ago's price. Well, except Bitcoin."
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Richard. When you look at the market right now, if we were to lose another major, and I say lose, if someone like a Binance were to go down, what would that do to the overall industry as a whole?
A year and a half ago, I told you Bitcoin was going to 10K. Has Bitcoin hit 10K yet? No, it hasn't.
There you go.
It hasn't hit Richard's price target yet. And why wouldn't it hit 10K? Right now, Grayscale Bitcoin's half off. You can buy encapsulated Bitcoin from Grayscale for half price. And they own 3% of all the Bitcoin. And as a percentage of total available actual like float, it's huge. It's absolutely huge. So you haven't seen the Bitfinex coins liquidated. $1 billion or $2 billion there. You haven't seen the Silk Road hackers coins liquidated, $1 billion there. You haven't seen the Mt. Gox $1 billion or $2 billion or $3 billion coins handed out yet. The Plus token Ponzi coins from China, not even sure what happened with those ones. None of those have been sold yet. So the dream is all those centralized counterparties that you don't really want to make rich, the seized coins that the governments are all holding, let them sell the bottom. Sell the bottom, sell 10K. Cool. Let Saylor get liquidated. Ladies, liquor, and leverage, homie. That's how you lose your stack. By the way, I'll tell you that trading is the worst thing you can do. How did FTX lose all their money? Trading. How did Three O's Capital lose all their money? Trading. Because they thought they were smarter than me. I didn't lose all my money. I'm doing really good. Really, 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 really good. These guys lost all their money. Grand champion.
Haven't watched one of his videos in quite some time. It's been a little while since I've seen some of this.
Yeah. So guys, he does bring up the macro take and the 2%, but I think it's more important. We're just going to end here, but we'll be back real soon. But it's more important. I want to emphasize, he probably knows this, frankly. And that's what I'm worried about. Like, I'm worried that, because I'm just under the impression that we need real innovation and real stuff in order to change the world. And I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. But I mean, again, I'm not on it. Like, there's a lot of cryptos that are decentralized and immutable, and you can have your own keys. So that's chill. But Sam, I think it's a great time to go.
This has been a great show, understanding the economy, like what's going on from the largest asset manager in the world and the largest hedge fund in the world, and then getting some good old Richard Hart's take on things. You can tell this guy is like he doesn't really understand this, because having somebody that's so like animated or just talking the way that Richard talks, whatever you want to verb you want to add to that, like idiotic or special or whatever the verb.
I think it's specialized speech. Like, I think he's like,
he's not used to that on the show. I guarantee it.
Well, he studied Richard Hart. I think he's baiting him. I think he's trying to get him to do. Let's look at the screen real quick.
Doesn't it seem like it's challenging for Richard Hart to actually have a conversation?
Well, is it challenging, or is his narrative challenging to keep up with?
Well, does it ever sound like this is a conversation?
Well, there's like a few glimpses in there, but again, I'm trying to highlight to everyone. That's why I've had my qualms with this whole situation. It's because every time I ask a detailed question, I get slandered and blocked. Remember, he said in there he blocked me. Look at this. Richard, you blocked me, remember? You sent me a nasty voicemail. And then look at this. You see this? I got that in Vegas. So, and that's some pulse chain thingy with the hex on the other side. And that's not to say that I'm special or anything, but I'm definitely always asking hard questions, Sam, about liquidity providing and about the things that and then I wasn't getting any answer, and I stopped asking. I just stopped. I just moved on to the next thing. What do you guys want me to do? Be a cheerleader? Come on. I'm not a cheerleader. I don't want to be a cheerleader. I want to make innovative fucking changes or help young guys learn about impermanent loss and NFTs. Okay. As you can see, my thumbnail game has been stepping up. And before we go, Sam, I want to peruse, make sure I hadn't been on Twitter all day. So let's look at my Twitter real quick, because I'm sure I posted all the stuff that we have coming up here. First of all, first guy on the internet to ever cover Zen crypto. That's documented. That's locked in. And that's on paper. So if you like that kind of sauce, you give that a retweet right now. And you guys post as many charts of the Zen chart you want. Oh, let's check this out. I'll be on with Jim Rat Crypto and Jack Levin discussing happy things like how to succeed in a bear market. I told him to keep it nice. And then he derogatorily said happy things, but that's okay. So we're going to have Buck, but let's click on this link real quick, Sam. And my thumbnail game is stepping up faster than Michael Jordan in 1991. I mean, let us just not get it twisted for 1 second. Hold on. Let me share this tab. Look, come on. We're in Vegas. Sam could get added to this at any effing moment. Look at that. We're in Vegas. I actually cropped some nice pink pants onto the Fiat body, because they only have a body within the emblem. And I detached the famous underneath, put it in the skyline. Little Zen Crypto, future of DeFi. Jim, come on, that's a real picture of me and Jack in Vegas. Come on, guys. It doesn't get any better than this. I've never been creative in my life, so it's like fun to do something like fun. But anyway, You got anything coming up?
No,
Any videos?
try this is just on the side note, and then we'll wrap things up. Try uploading the famous to DALL-E, the AI drawing software. If you guys have never checked it out, you should check it out. And then once you upload that, say, draw pink pants on this photo or whatever the case is, or draw pink dress pants on this photo, and see how the AI, if it can actually draw that on you, and see how it actually turns out. Check the price performance of Trump cards, GRC, 2.5x growth. You're muted.
Oh my God, Sam, did you ever see the deep? Oh my God, Sam, you weren't on the show yesterday. I forgot. Did you ever see the deep fake that when you saw how everyone was covering Trump NFTs, right, Sam?
I did see that, yes.
So I was the first guy to, like, I guess, read the fine print and ask a few people questions. And while all the other grown men with hundreds of thousands of subscribers were literally covering Trump NFTs, I was laughing at it. And let's just go back for 1 second so Sam can see this, because there was nothing funnier in the history of funny things than this deep fake by Donald Trump. So let's go to my page.
It's a video, correct?
Yes, it's a video, and he says he's better than Lincoln and he's better than Washington. The first sentence. And everyone thought it was real. But the whole world, Sam, it's bigger than what we're just laughing about, though, because the entire world picked this up. CNBC, everyone. And I don't think he ever had anything to do with it.
I'm sure he didn't.
But think about that. The whole entire world, to right now, the biggest names in, remember how I said journalism is dead? It just died. They're all covering Trump NFTs right now, and he hasn't even woke up from his Quaalude nap. Like, I'm telling you, for real. So, and I think if this was crazy, this is hilarious. I'm gonna just show you the video because it's a commercial. It was a commercial that came out, Sam. There's like a whole commercial thing. So, and I just could not stop laughing. So this is the show from yesterday. Let me go to the part. I was wearing a suit because Donald Trump was up. So Sam, I wore a suit because I was like, I only wear suits in front of the best presidents in history. And I was making jokes all morning. It was so fun, and I couldn't help it. But this is the funniest stuff here. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna play this, Sam. Just laugh it off, guys. Everyone laugh it off, and I'll see you at 1:30. All right. This was hilarious. What do you think about the Trump NFTs? In the chat, we got Jack Levin, Buck from Famous and Fiat, and potentially Sam Stoll in just about 45 minutes. Let's play this out, guys. This shit made me lose. This is me standing up for Donald J. Trump, better than Lincoln and better than Washington. And he has the nicest golf courses in the country. Let's go.
This is Donald Trump, hopefully your favorite president of all time, better than Lincoln.
And if you're just getting in, this is fake. 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 This is not real. This is fake. If anyone's covering it, they're retardo. That's a different language. So that one doesn't count for push-ups. Okay. They're not in the now. They're wrecked.
Hello, everyone. This is Donald Trump, hopefully your favorite president of all time, better than Lincoln, better than Washington, with an important announcement to make. I'm doing my first official Donald J. Trump NFT collection right here and right now. They're called Trump Digital Trading Cards. These cards feature some of the really incredible artwork pertaining to my life and my career. It's been exciting. You can collect your Trump digital cards just like a baseball card or other collectibles. Here's one of the best parts. Each card comes with an automatic chance to win amazing prizes like dinner with me. I don't know if that's an amazing prize, but it's what we have. Or golf with you and a group of your friends at one of my beautiful golf courses, and they are beautiful. I'm also doing Zoom calls, a one-on-one meeting.
He's doing Zoom calls with bros for $100.
This is a good deepfake, bro. People can take your footage and my footage, or just my. That's what I'm
saying. But it dilutes everything. It dilutes everything but live media. it dilutes everything but live media. Sam, you know I do the show every day. I could be doing 100 other things to make my channel bigger, but I have a feeling that these live streams are going to be like the cockroach after a nuclear war, if you know what I mean, because they're going to be like, dude, we can't even trust anyone anymore. Everything GRC says in a short isn't even real anymore. We have to watch the live feed and I have a feeling on that because
you're right.
The whole country just, and everyone thinks it's legit. It's not legit. He licensed out of likeness to the company and made the NFTs. I don't even know if it's legit, but the point is that video is fake. I know it's fake because there's no way that he would have said that dinner with him was not an amazing prize. He said, I don't know if that's an amazing prize or not.
Yeah,
I've watched Donald Trump's everything. Never would he say that in a million years. He might say better than Lincoln, better than Washington, but he will not say that dinner with him is not top tier gold. Because let's be honest, it kind of is. Correct. To a certain group of people. So whatever you think about that, guys, just go ahead. I really do think like that was the line. I was like, my president wouldn't say. I'm just kidding. But Crypto in the Morning live every single day at 11 a.m. Eastern. We have to get off right this second. Make sure you hit all the buttons. Make sure you go to our Twitters. Make sure you smash the like button below. And we're going to have an explosive episode in about 40 minutes. So get ready. UFC tonight too in the Discord. That's a DM.
You already know what time it is. Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning. Waiting on phone. Crypto in the morning. 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 Waiting on phone. Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning. Smoking no blunt on my way to the gym. 11 a.m. I'm already tuned in. Got me some hacks and I'm making a stake. Got me some heads on, I'm making it rain. Pay me some maxi and that's just in case. Jim Reddit sent me to show you the way.